In this video, I'm going to be talking about why you guys should be having multiple children as you guys get older. Now, this is my part 2 of part 1, where I talk about why you should at least have one child, called The Beautiful Truth of Having Children, on screen now if you guys want to check that part out first. So this part makes more sense to you. But this video is where I talk about why you should have more than one child. So this is taking it up a notch. You see, children learn off other children, meaning when a child does well, the other will copy and hopefully do just as well. And when a child fails, the other will learn from it and hopefully avoid the mistake they've made. It's like a loop of all your children learning off each other and growing off each other and just becoming stronger, especially if you have a lot of kids, not just one or two. And it's probably best being the younger sibling as well, because think about it, you've got a bunch of hard-working brothers and sisters, all older than you, meaning they've already guided the path for you of what you have to do to be successful and how to not fail, because you've seen them all grow and win, and you've also seen them made mistakes and fail. And that's how we learn as humans. We see, okay, so they've won this way, but they've also failed this way. So how can I just win and not fail? We learn off each other. And the younger you are, the younger the sibling you are, is probably best for you, because if you're the older sibling, you have to learn most things yourself. And then like as your other siblings get older, then you can learn shit from them. But from the start, as the older sibling, you have to learn from yourself mainly. But when you're the younger sibling, you can just learn off others, and it's like you're playing life on easy mode, basically. Having siblings also gives you the sense of discipline, because you know that you don't get everything to yourself and you have to share. For example, that's just one of the examples of how it instills discipline into you. No matter how rich of a kid you are, like no matter how spoiled your parents are, if you've got siblings, you're at least humble in the sense that, okay, I don't get everything to myself. I've got to share a few things, right? Because if you're an only child, you're just raised, unless you've got good parents, which is unlikely, you're most likely raised and spoiled to believe that everything gets given to you and everything's gonna go your way and no one else. You're just gonna get everything handed to you easily. So once these people get older and their parents aren't involved and they realize that they can't get everything so easily and something doesn't get given to them first, they start crying and complaining because they're little bitches that are being raised completely wrong. So in my opinion, having siblings, or the more siblings you have, make you stronger, right? I've only got one sibling. I've got a little brother, so I wouldn't say I'm the strongest in that sense of sharing things, because I've obviously had to share a lot. But as you get older, I guess like my age now, I don't really like share things as much, so I don't really have that sense of discipline anymore. But I feel like the more siblings you have, the more shit you have to share. And because that's a sense of discipline, you having to share, oh, I don't want to share. You sharing increases your discipline, making you stronger, basically. So the more siblings you have, the more stronger you most likely are as a person. Family is so important, and the bigger the family is, the stronger they will all be if they have the right mindset. Because imagine this, right? 2 parents, mum and a dad, have 8 children. Now you might be thinking, hey, yo, there's too much siblings or children for me. I couldn't do it. But it's actually beautiful, because imagine if all 8 of those siblings, whether they're boys, girls, doesn't matter, right? Plus the parents. So that's 10 people, right? 10 people having a titanium mindset. Just imagine how much money they can make, create a business, and how successful they can get that business. They'd be fucking billionaires. This is because, well, this is what I would do if I had 8 kids, right? This is what I would make my kids do. They would all learn and have put 90% of their focus into their own skill. So one unique skill. For example, one will mainly study sales, one will mainly study marketing, one will mainly study money, so on and so on. Because obviously there's plenty of other skills to learn. So yeah. And then, right, because I said 90%, in that 10% of the 90%, they'll be learning a mix of everything, like all different types of skills, right? In that 10%, so the much smaller percent. So they will automatically be very intelligent children. Now, this is the bit that I find the most interesting and the most powerful. You'd probably think to yourself, oh, it's nice that they're all learning one skill, but it would be nice if they could all learn all the skills, right? But that's a bit too good to be true, right? Well, obviously, you can't be an expert at everything, but in a way, it's also not too good to be true. You can make this possible. If I was a father of 8 children, I would have all my children sit down at a table, and for example, the sibling that has been studying sales will stand up, talk about sales for a bit, talk about what they've learned, techniques about sales, and then after they've talked about it, they'll discuss it. So everyone's learning, everyone's putting in input, and everyone else is learning about sales as well. And then the sibling that's mainly studying marketing will discuss it and do the same, talk about it with everyone. And what's going on is all the siblings are mixing knowledge, gaining knowledge, and becoming experts at so many different things. If they have a question to ask about sales which they're not too confident on, they can ask the sibling that's obviously been studying sales. And just all these siblings, brothers and sisters, having all this knowledge. Oh my god, like I can't imagine how unstoppable they are, like they will be and become. They will completely crush their competition with all the knowledge and skill that they have learned from all their other brothers and sisters. It all just sounds so beautiful to me that a massive family can gain so much knowledge, become so smart, and be so close to one another. Because, for example, me and a lot of people out there have never really experienced that before. I've never been close to family. I've never been. A few videos ago, I was talking about how I've pretty much never been close to anyone in my life, not even my own parents, and especially my family. Like, I've never had that relationship with family before that everyone talks about. Oh, family's amazing. Oh, I love my family. Obviously, I love my family. I mean, I love my parents. I don't really know if I love my other family members, because as much as when I do see them, I enjoy spending time with them, I'm not close to them, and it's a big shame. And when you have a big family with lots of siblings, you will have this relationship where you can go to your family when you need help, and you don't have to be so independent, because you've always got a sibling to rely on, especially if you've got 8 siblings. It's crazy. But I'm about to say a quote that's quite generic, and people will go, oh, it's so generic. But sometimes the most generic quotes, and I've said this before in a video, the most generic quotes are the most accurate quotes, but we put them aside because, we say, oh, everyone says that, it is rubbish. But sometimes if everyone says something, it most likely is true. Well, I say that, but then I talk about how the Matrix, they tell you to go to school. Okay, sometimes, right, if a bunch of people say something is true, not to do with the Matrix, not to do with the government, not with everyone saying you have to go to school to be successful, right? That's obviously a lie, but I'm talking about with this, right? And it's the more the merrier, right? Sounds generic, very generic, and I know it is, but it's very true, especially in this case. The more siblings you have, the more brain power and financial income you will create. And if you still don't want kids after watching not only this video, but part 1 also, then you, my friend, need mental help and do not understand the main purpose of life at all. The main purpose of life that everyone should have, which is having children. But if you do want children after watching this video, well done, buddy. I'm proud of you. Thank you boys for watching, as always, and peace.